Good morning, y'all. I'm on my way over to Mary Jo's. It's Wednesday, and we're making some soup, and we're going to go hand it out to some homeless people. Now, Mary Jo's doing most of the work on this, you guys. I'll be driving and hauling and giving out, but she's making the soup. I just thought I'd talk to y'all a little bit today about dating as a senior. Now, my question to y'all is, do you or would you date someone? Now, I'm only talking to the single people here, y'all. I'm not talking to anybody who's married. I mean, hypothetically, you could, say, if you were single, would you or would you not date somebody? A long time ago, at the urging of a neighbor who was concerned that I never got out except to do what I had to do and take care of Sam, who was about 3. She met and married a man off of Love at AOL. Do any of y'all remember that? Well, y'all, that's where I met my 6th husband. And I'll tell you about that later. But there's some stuff, I just had to kind of gather my little brain cell. There's some things about that any dating service, now they have one that's called Our Time, and Our Time is supposed to be for seniors, and then Match.com. So Love at AOL is way gone. That was back in the time of You've Got Mail, that hysterical movie that Meg Ryan was in. I think it was Meg Ryan. Anyway, some things that I noticed and noticed firsthand, and also was told by people that I talked to on these websites, is that quite a bit of the time, people misrepresent themselves. Now, I really never looked at the ladies very much, just occasionally. And people lie. They lie about how old they are. They lie about their weight. They lie about their education. I mean, I don't really get that, y'all. Because if you tell lies, especially ones that are obvious, your age and your weight, when you get a date with somebody, isn't that going to be noticed? If you look like you're, 30 in your picture and in real life you are 60, I mean, don't you think somebody's going to notice that? So, I heard some funny stories when I talked. I had a profile, and I heard some funny stories from guys about that. Well, I met this lady, and she told me she weighed 140 pounds, and when I got there, she weighed 200. One guy said he met this lady at a restaurant for dinner, and he wanted to take her somewhere kind of nice. And they were sitting there, and she had a lot of tattoos that were visible, and she took out a pocket knife and proceeded to clean under. Yeah, that still cracks me up. She was cleaning under her fingernails. Y'all, that's just crazy. Now, one time, I went to a restaurant in Temecula, and I met this gentleman who was supposedly a big, businessman, whatever. Now, I was always straight up, y'all, with people. Whatever I weighed, I put down. My education, I put that down, or lack thereof. I was honest about, I had a current picture. I just felt like if you lie about this stuff, what's going to happen if you really go out with somebody? That's just crazy. So anyway, this gentleman's picture, I don't go. Yes, we are attracted to people visually and physically before we are interested in their brilliant mind or their sense of humor or their kindness and their compassion. I mean, that's just the way it is, y'all. When we look at people, that's the first impression we have is how they look. Now, I've always been a big teeth person. Y'all probably figured that out. I guess that was from being in the dental field. I always notice if people take good care of their teeth. Now, they don't have to be perfect teeth, all straight and pearly white and all that crap. But I mean, do you look like you got some food in there that's camping? I mean, things like that. So anyway, I met this man. And if I was going to go on a date, number one, I always went during daylight hours. I always met someone in a very public place. I always took my own car. I never, ever let anyone know where I lived. Ever. Even way back then, I was kind of cautious. So I did like to show up early so I could kind of get a look at what I was going to spend a few hours with. Or who. I don't mean what, I mean who. But anyway, y'all, this gentleman comes in and, he's a attractive guy. Not exactly my type, but who cares? I was not looking for love. I was just looking for some companionship, somebody to do some stuff with. I never was looking for someone to pay my way. Just kind of to have some fun with. And I mean, if a big romance came out of it, well, that's just gravy. That's just gravy on top, But I didn't ever have really high expectations. So this gentleman came in and he came back to our table and sat down and we started chatting a little bit and he complimented me. He said, "Oh, you're just as pretty as your picture. You look exactly, like you portrayed." And I tried to respond in kind, but I'm going to tell you guys. And now, if any of y'all have this or have had this, I am not trying to be mean. I am not trying to be hurtful in any way. I am relating my experience, okay? This gentleman did not have toupee, which I see nothing wrong with them, but personally, if I have to take it off at night when I go to sleep, I just don't want to have it. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, he didn't have a toupee. He had a full-on wig. It wasn't, I've seen some nice wigs, y'all. And I've seen some really bad ones. Now, evidently, this gentleman did not have anyone to guide him in his selection of this wig. And you could tell it was a wig. There was no doubt about it. It kind of, sat up on his head. And then it came down in the back, but because it wasn't his natural hair that would kind of curve in towards your neck, it went to his collar and then stuck straight out at the bottom. Y'all, I'm sorry. I could hardly keep myself from looking at that bad wig. So, needless to say, and not because of the wig, totally, but that was our one and only get-together. I had a few, not a lot, but I had a few dates off a dating website. Now, the last time that I did it was, 4 years ago maybe. I was living with another roommate, and he was on Match.com, and he kept saying, go on it, make a profile, it'll be a lot of fun. You don't have to go out with anybody, you can just talk to people. So finally I did. I was straight up about how many times I've been married. I was straight up about not wanting a sexual relationship. I was looking for a little bit of companionship, friendship. So I was straight up about all of that, y'all. And they ask you, what is your idea of a perfect first date? Well, my idea of a perfect first date is to meet at Lowe's or Home Depot. No, I'm not kidding. I'm serious. I love those stores. I'd much rather go to Home Depot or Lowe's than go to Macy's. That's just how I am. Project oriented. Love to work in the yard, putts around the house, So that's always been my thing. And so I was honest about that too. I did not claim to skydive and surf and snowboard and ski. And no, I'm a very boring person, y'all. I love to read. There's certain little TV shows I like to watch. I love to go to the movies. Y'all know that. I like to go out to eat. Just very, very boring person. And I was very upfront with that. In fact, I think I was pretty blunt about some things. And when I look back on it, I think basically I was really trying to put people off. Scare them off. Didn't work, y'all. There are so many more men out there than there are women. I mean, you guys are totally outnumbered. I mean, you can look in our apartment community, and I would say the ratio is maybe 3 to 1. I don't know. There's not a whole lot of guys there, married or single. And I noticed the same thing with the senior communities that I manage. So we've got you guys outnumbered. And also, there's been studies on the fact that men, after a divorce or the loss of a spouse, are more likely to get into a relationship faster, and they remarry faster. I think y'all just love that feeling of someone loving you and caring about you and taking care of you, and also taking care of someone. So I don't know exactly what the stuff is. I haven't researched it. I should have before I did this video. But anyway, the last thing I'm going to talk about right now, and we might talk about it later, but the last thing is, a lot of these poor guys took selfies. Some of them had people take pictures of them. But I'm telling y'all, we're talking up the nose, bug-eyed selfies. Not trimmed facial hair, wild facial hair, eyebrows sticking out like caterpillars, nose hair, ear hair, nose hair. That reminds me when we used to try to teach our babies, where's your nose? Right there. Anyway, they were some pretty terrible pictures, y'all. Raggedy clothes. I mean, it was sad. I used to tell Mary Jo and my roommate, I think I should start a little service on giving guys advice on how to have a nice picture. If you're going to plaster it on the internet, wouldn't you want to make your best effort? You would think so. But anyway, y'all, it was pretty interesting. Now, the other day, Mary Jo and I were on the road. We were going somewhere. And she says, let's look at men. Let's put your profile. Let's go to, what's that one for seniors? Our Time. Let's just look at the guys out there. Now, she's not divorced, so she wasn't looking. She's looking for Debrajoy. So anyway, it's just kind of fun. You know, I did not put a profile out there. I just don't even know that I have it in me to have any kind of a relationship out there. I barely keep up with the ones that I have. So anyway, y'all, I just thought that was something kind of fun to talk about. And y'all you have you're anonymous, okay? I can't say those big words. You're anonymous. So you can be perfectly honest. Did you ever date in your senior years? Or would you date? Would you ever do online dating? Oh, which brings me to yesterday. Terry and I were at McDonald's after his appointment, and we were sitting there, and there was a couple close to my age in the booth behind me. Now, I wasn't listening to their conversation, but occasionally you could hear them, and they were kind of asking each other questions, like they were trying to get to know each other. And I thought to myself, oh, that's so sweet. I think they're on a date. And I thought it was so awesome. It was so cute. And I heard him say, he was sitting closest to me, and I heard him say, I had to wonder if that lady had a brain. She couldn't even talk coherently. Well, when I heard that, y'all, I was cracking up because I thought, he could be talking about me. That's probably what somebody would say about me if we had a little meetup. But anyway, when I started laughing, they started talking to me. And I wanted to ask them, are you guys on a date? But I didn't. I try to be more reserved than I used to be. Before, I would have totally turned around in my seat and I would have gotten into a full-on conversation with them. So anyway, y'all, that was fun. So talk about it. If you have dated, would, are dating, let's talk about it. Anyway, I love you guys. And I wanted to say that when I am answering comments on my phone, sometimes it will let me leave a full on comment, and sometimes it will only let me hit the heart. Now, I don't know if I need to go talk to the geeks about this or what. So just know that I'm reading every single comment. Y'all do something fun today. I'm getting ready to. Bye now.